Alrighty guys, what the fuck is up? Player 13 FOC here, doing another update slash release video on Heroes of Gaming. So yeah, the beta is officially out. You get map vision for the first 10 seconds of the game. You can't actually pick heroes during that time. This is for a few reasons. One, it shows where all like the buildings and stuff are, gives you a little bit better look at the map. Also lets newer players know that there's creeps in the middle, like people playing the map for like literally the first time. It'll let them know that creeps are there. Yeah, so we're just going to go in this real quick. So I do have this is 0.2 of the beta actually. 0.1 was released for a very short period of time. I don't know if any of y'all actually managed to download it or not. I did make a video for it, I uploaded it, I put it on Epic War, and then I found like a couple like really major bugs almost immediately after doing that, so we decided to pull that real quick and release it, 2 days later, with a whole bunch of stuff fixed. So this is stuff that I all did in 2 days. I got a lot done in 2 days, to be honest. So we'll just go over the changelog real quick. This is the last video that's going to be like really like just done in one take. All of like my patch videos and stuff after this are going to be if you've seen like my patch videos on my other channel, they're going to be a little more, I don't want to say professionally done, just a little more well done overall. So this is the last one of these that's going to be like this. We're going to be looking to release a new version of the map probably every 2 weeks to a month. I don't really know. So far I've been, with the updates I could just kind of drop whatever I was doing and just show you guys where I was, but with an actual release, everything kind of needs to be tested. Everything needs to be completely finished. I can't just release like a half-done hero and be like, okay, well that's where the hero... Can't really do that now that I'm actually releasing the map, so I don't know exactly when I'll be dropping new versions of the map. Is very... I have to have it completely done. So I can't just say, oh, it'll be out every 2 weeks, because I might be in the middle of like making a hero during that point, and I can't just be like, yeah, here's half a hero. Good luck with that. But yeah, I'm looking to release it every 2 weeks to a month, depending on how productive I am and exactly what I'm trying to release in that version. So yeah, we'll just go over what I've changed. So 0.1, I'm trying to remember what I had out in 0.1, because that's not going to be in the changelog for 0.2. Boots got a little bit of a buff. I don't think I had the Trident out in the update before this. So yeah, there's the Trident. 80% attack speed, 150 damage, 50 armor, and reduces things that you auto-attack, reduces their armor by 50 for 5 seconds. And it builds from a tier 2 recipe, a Hyperstone, which is just 2 gloves of haste and equals 80 attack speed, and I don't even remember what, oh yeah, Shieldbreaker, which is a buckler plus a dagger plus a tier 1 recipe, and it basically has the same effect. It lasts slightly longer, but it isn't active on a 15-second cooldown, so upgrading it to this is fairly significant because it just applies on your auto attack so much stronger. 50 armor isn't a tremendous amount against heroes, particularly in the late game, but the dragons down here only have like 75 armor, so it increases your farming speed greatly. And then this is a nice little thing. It's fairly cheap, it's good against bosses, and it just gives armor and damage, which, who doesn't want that? That's most of the change. I didn't change, like, 0.1, like, from alpha to beta 0.1 was mostly just, like, bug fixes and stuff. And a lot of, like, little tweaks that aren't going to make a lot of sense to you guys. A lot of you didn't know, like, exactly how much damage each spell did and everything. So yeah, we'll just go into the quest log here. Fixed a bug causing Spirit of the Storm. Take 30 seconds to cast. Yeah, so you would be like, I'm gonna go fast, and then you'd sit there for 30 seconds casting it because I was an idiot and I put a 30-second cast time on it instead of putting a 30-second cooldown on it, so that's a little bit of a problem. Decrease the size of the creep pits. Pretty self-explanatory. These were fucking gigantic. No one was ever going to hit all of this, and it made the map bigger for like no reason. Particularly like this area over here. Like I shaved off probably that much of the map on each side, just making this smaller, which means that there's less area to hide over here, which is really obnoxious, like just trying to find people. So it made the map smaller. It made these more compact. Oh, there is actually one more change that I want to show off real quick. So one of the big things that I noticed upon actually like playtesting the map is that since you don't have vision and the map is significantly bigger than like FOC, just finding people was obnoxious. There's just too much map, and just that pretty well sums it up. There's too much map. So one, we shaved off this, which decreased like the amount of hiding that you can do over here, and two, this is different. So this area over here is significantly smaller than it was before, right? Like this used to be, it used to like take up this whole side almost, and this side used to be bigger due to the fact that there was more map like down here and up here. So now when you port here, you spawn on the same port, regardless of which one of these teleporters you went in. And the area between this and the other teleporter is significantly smaller, which might not sound like a big deal, but what that means is that you can go from one side of the map to the other side of the map looking for people very, very quickly, and you can kind of perch up here and see if like anyone is spawning, if anyone is farming like on this side of this, and you're like, okay, my opponent isn't here, and then you can go here. Basically just makes, you know, killing killer type heroes significantly better. Also makes like farming bosses a little bit better, because you can like blow a farming ult over here, then just walk in here, kill a boss, go do other stuff. This just makes getting around the map significantly faster. Just nice. You just get to where you want to be. It's kind of a good thing. Gonna try and not make, what am I doing? Gonna try and make this not like the longest thing in the world. Decreased size of, increased armor on Link's Cucco and decreased HP. So basically, Link's Cucco maxed at like 12k HP, which is a shitload. And the thing with Link's Cucco is that it farms a lot if you get like the full duration of its spell off. But you were supposed to kind of be able to interrupt it by killing it. The problem is that the Cucco could just solo you. Like you would just die to a chicken, and you were like, you know, basically ruined your entire life because you just died to a chicken. But we increased the armor a little bit so that it could still tank the creeps, but decreased the HP on it at all levels, just because you should be able to burst it down. That's like part of the mechanic of the spell. Otherwise, if you don't kill it, it farms a lot, like a lot. It's still really, really good. Like still might actually need to be nerfed. It's so strong. Fix the price of Shield of Mage's Bane. Yeah, so I was talking about big glitches that I found. For whatever reason, somehow its price got set to 0. I know it wasn't in older versions of the beta, or the alpha rather. But yeah, it had 0 cost, and that's like a really big item. So just like starting the game and having like 99999 armor, plus magic resistance, plus inactive for spelling, it's not a thing that we wanted. Increase the size of Cucco, Link's Cucco to better emphasize your impending doom. This goes back to you should be able to kill the Cucco, and if you can't kill the Cucco because you can't see the Cucco, then you're going to have a bad time. Visuals on Venomancer's Venomous Scale. I guess I can actually show that off. I think it looks pretty cool. That's really all there is to say about that. Improved animation on Mewtwo Shadow Ball. The animation was glitchy and weird, and now it's not, which is good. Shadow Ball now fires instantly when channeling stops. If you look back at one of the older videos, you would like stop channeling, and then it would wait a second, and then it would fire, and it didn't look right, so we fixed it. Fixed item tooltips being cut off. Some of the item tooltips were cut off. I don't really understand why, but I fixed it. Mewtwo Psychic now functions a bit better. So Mewtwo Psychic, you would lift them up in the air and they would get stunned. And then you would lift them up in the air, and then after like half a second they would get stunned. So they could like still cast spells on you while they were being lifted up. And then you would throw them down, and like during the middle of them getting thrown down, they would be able to cast spells to you because the stun just didn't last long enough. So that's the main thing. They just get stunned for the full duration of it, rather than it being kind of a weird, you're stunned for like half of it, and it just didn't really work the way it's supposed to. Glyph of Flame now combines properly. Before, you would buy 2 Glyph of Flame level 1, and it would not upgrade into Glyph of Flame level 2, which is not good. It's not what we wanted. Fix the sell price of spirit bottles. So when you bottled a spirit, you would get a new bottle, and each of those has a different sell price, depending on how much the total like combination cost of that was. And before, they were just really like weird random combinations. The gold prices weren't right because I had been tinkering around with it and hadn't fixed the sell price. Glyph of Flame +4 to basic combination items. So you don't want to you want like a fully upgraded Glyph of Flame, but you don't want to sit there and like mash the level 1 to get it. Just convenient. Double the number of Heartless Soldiers that spawn compared to Heartless Wyverns. I will get up to that in just a second. Maximum spawn of Wyverns/Soldiers no longer shared. Soldiers will spawn if Wyverns are maxed, and vice versa. Basically, if you cleared out the smaller of the Soldiers, and then you spawn creeps back, you would have like this really weird ratio where you would have like a lot more of the big ones than the small ones, and if you somehow cleared the big ones and not the small ones, you would have the same problem that way, although I don't know how you would do that unless you were just trying to. So this now has it set up to where if you have like a bunch of the big ones and just a few of the small ones, it'll just spawn the small ones to like catch up with the big ones. Fixed a bug where non-hero units could spawn creeps. Non-hero units could spawn creeps here sometimes. It was weird. I fixed it. It's good. Fixed Pikachu's Spark tooltip to include that it deals damage to buildings. Pretty self-explanatory. It did damage to buildings. The tooltip didn't say it did damage to buildings. It's a good thing to know. Vampiric Curse and Mask of the Vampire now share a cooldown. The 2 lifesteal items, there's one that upgrades into the other. They didn't share a cooldown. It was silly. I fixed it. Mask of the Vampire now works correctly. For whatever reason, sometimes you would get what's called a dummy version of the Vampiric Curse, which just means it's a deactivated version. You can't use the active, and considering it doesn't give stats and the only thing you get from it is the active, that's not good. You don't want that. Fix Shieldbreaker's recipe. It told you that it combined from different items than it did, so you would get the items and walk on the circle to combine it, and then it wouldn't combine, and you were kind of sitting there like, hey, I would like the item that you told me I would have now. Not good. Cloak of Boarding Hound now builds from T1 recipe instead of T2 recipe. So basically this recipe costs 3k, this recipe costs 6k. I didn't feel like it was worth 6k to upgrade it, so I nerfed the cost to make the item a little bit better, especially since it's like a support item. You're going to be kind of poor. Yeah. I think that pretty much sums up everything. I was going to talk about these guys. So before, you had the same number of soldiers as you did wyverns, wyverns being the big ones and soldiers being the small ones. The way that that ended up working is that if you had a spell that just cleared out small ones, namely like lower level of Venomancers are, or like level 2 or 3 Shadow Ball, and you just cleared out these guys, you didn't. It just wasn't worth it. They just aren't worth enough for it to be worthwhile, and it was just really bad. And like the big farming ultis that could kill the big ones were like kind of overpowered. So to kind of bring the big farming ultis down a little bit and the small farming ultis up a little bit, we just doubled the number of like these guys, the little ones. And now it seems to be about where I want it to be, although, you know, this stuff might get moved around a little bit. There's also this here. So this is just a high ground. You're up here, they poured in, they can't see you. If someone comes over here and tries to kill your face while you're farming, you can go up here. It's basically just because there's a high ground here, and this balances that out a little bit. You can also ward up here, so someone's trying to be cute and hide up here, you know they're there, you come over here, you kill them. Just a little high ground, adds a little something to the terrain. I think in the last version I already had it set up where these would only spawn for a maximum of 3 times. I'm almost positive. I think that pretty well sums up everything that's been changed. Yeah. So there will be a download link to the map in the description. Do keep in mind that this is a highly early version in beta. Like you guys saw, all the glitches, bugs, whatever you want to call them, I fixed in like 2 days here. Yeah, it's a lot. So just keep that in mind. Stuff might not be perfectly balanced. Stuff might be buggy or glitchy. If you do find any bugs, or you find, you know, any glitches, if you just have any suggestions, whatever, I will have a email attached to the loading screen here, and I'll probably put that down in the description as well. Or you can just comment on the video, letting me know, you know, what you think needs buffed, nerfed, what, you know, obviously if you find any bugs, I'd really like to know that. Kind of losing my voice, but yeah, just let me know what you think. We'll be looking to release another version in 2 weeks to a month. Probably going to be a new hero and at least 2 new items in that I already have planned out. That's what we're hoping for. Again, I haven't... Making new versions is a little bit different now because I have to like sit down and complete an entire thing, test it, and then I can release a new version, whereas before, with the update videos, I could just be like, here's where I am on everything, and I can't really do that if I'm actually releasing the map. So that's gonna affect things a little bit, and I'm not quite sure how long it's gonna take me to do all this stuff, so we're hoping that 2 weeks to a month is about how often I'm gonna have a new map out, but that might change. Might even be less than that, I don't know. Yeah, so I think that pretty well covers everything. Next video isn't going to be just like a one-shot recording like this. It's going to be a little bit better put together. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Please do let me know what you think of the map. Even if it's, you know, balance seems really bad, need to tweak this and this and this, do let me know. I appreciate any feedback I get. So thanks for watching. Peace. Character fighting, whatnot. Bye.